Hey there, rad geometry students. Here we go, 11.2, area of specifically parallelograms and triangles. You guys are completely familiar with this stuff. Let's just start this investigation. So in class, we're going to see why the area of a parallelogram is base times height. Here we got a parallelogram. We're not going to be doing this on the instructional video, but we're going to be doing it in class together of the why. Why is it base times height? We know the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Now, I'm not quite sure why this didn't get transferred correctly, but it should not have an I there. The area is 1/2 base times height. Again, not sure why those I's are there, but it shouldn't be on your guys' notes. So when we have a triangle looking like this, here's our base times the height. We take their product, divide it by 2. Same as here, we take the base and the height, take their product, and divide it by 2. Example 1, find the area of the parallelogram. Well, we knew from our previous slide that area of a parallelogram, which is what we're looking for, is base times height. I'm given the base of 11. I need to find my height. And I have a special triangle here, the 30, 60, 90 triangle. And I know that since this is 5, I could also put 5 over here. Now remember, on our special 30, 60, 90 triangles, the angle that is across from my 30, I label x, then the hypotenuse is twice that, 2x, and the other leg is x multiplied by root 3. Now here I have 2x and 5. Those triangles are similar, so I'm going to say 2x equals 5, and now I'm going to solve for x, and I get x equals 2.5. So I have 2.5 down here. And just to throw in the height, I'm going to get this is 2.5 root 3. So for every x, I double it and get the hypotenuse, or I multiply it by root 3 and I get the leg. Moving on, I need my base and I need my height. My base was 11 and my height I just discovered was 2.5 root 3. I could find my area now. Multiply 11 by 2.5 root 3 and I get 27.5 root 3 meters squared. Example 2. Find the altitude of a parallelogram with base 12 and area of 96 square meters. I'm going to do what I always ask you to do. Let's underline what we need. Find the altitude of the parallelogram. Okay, let's draw on our parallelogram here. Here we go. And it says find the altitude. I'll call this x. And it has a base of 12. And the area, which is base times height, is equal to 96. My base is 12. I don't know my height, but I could solve for it. Let's divide both sides by 12, and I get height equals 8 centimeters. And there we go, that's my altitude. Next, example 3. In a parallelogram, the base and the altitude are in ratio of 10 to 7. We've seen examples like this in chapter 10, and they're coming up more in chapter 11. So I'm going to say this is the base, this is my altitude, and they're in ratio of 10 to 7. The area of the parallelogram is 1,120 square meters, and they're asking me to find the length of the base and the altitude. Okay, so area equals base times height of a parallelogram, and that's equal to 1,120 in this situation. The base is 10x. I'll multiply it by the height, 7x, and I should get 1,120. Now we get here 70x squared equals 1,120. Divide both sides by 70, and I have x squared equals 16. Reduce that, and I get x equals 4 and negative 4. However, I'm not going to use my negative 4 because I can't have a negative length. Don't stop here though. Look again at what they're asking me for. What did I underline? Find the length of the base and the altitude. Plug in 4 here, and I get my base is 10 times 4, which is 40 meters, and my height is 7 times 4, and that is, what is it? I'll wait for you. Yep, it's 28 meters. Great job. And example 4, find the area of an isosceles right triangle with hypotenuse 4 root 2. Let's draw that in. Isosceles right triangle. Isosceles and right. And the hypotenuse is 4 root 2. Let's underline what they're asking me for. Find the area of the isosceles right triangle. Okay. I have my base and my height. And I know the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Now if this is isosceles, I know then that these angles must be congruent. This angle is 90 degrees, so I'm left with a total of 90 degrees for my remaining two angles. Now if both of those angles, I'll call them angle 1 and angle 2, have to equal 90 degrees, and they're both congruent, I know that angle 1 and angle 2 both have to equal 45 degrees. Now I have one of those special triangles. I've got my 45, 45, 90. And if we take a look at the original of it, if these are both x, this is x root 2. The hypotenuse is always going to be set equal to with a similar x root 2 hypotenuse. So let's do that with these two here. 4 root 2 equals x root 2. Divide both sides by root 2. And I get x equals 4. Okay, which means my base is 4 and my height is 4. Plug it into our formula over here and we get area equals 1/2 base times height, which is 1/2 of 16, and I get 8 centimeters squared for the area of this isosceles triangle. Example 5. Find the area of an isosceles triangle with sides 10, 10, and 16. Again, I'm going to underline what they're asking me for. Find the area of the isosceles triangle. Let me draw that in here with sides 10, 10, and 16. So to find the area, I need to take 1/2 base times height. I have my 1/2, I have my base, I need my height. And I'll draw that in here. And that divides each section into 8 there and 8 here. So what does that leave me with? I have a triangle, 8 and 10. How am I going to find this side? Well, you see that it's one of our special triangles. It's a 3, 4, 5, and in this case it's a 6, 8, 10. If you don't recognize that, you're more than welcome to do the Pythagorean theorem, x squared plus 8 squared equals 10 squared. So now we have that x is 6. And that's also what this height is over here. So plugging it back into our formula, we have 1/2 times the base, which is 16, times our height, which is 6. And if I simplify that, I get 48 units squared. And for those in class, the ticket out the door is find the area of the triangle below. It's again one of our special triangles, our 30, 60, 90 triangle. And remember, if we take it to the basic similar one, if I have my 30, 60, 90, this is x, this is 2x, and this is x root 3. So for right now, I have 2x equals 8. If 2x equals 8, then x equals 4. So if this is 4, I'm going to stick my 4 here. And I also know that this then is going to be 4 root 3 instead of x root 3. So to find the area of a triangle, it's 1/2 base times height, which is 1/2 4 times 4 root 3. And we simplify that and we get 8 root 3 centimeters squared. Let's get used to using our 30, 60, 90s and our 45, 45, 90s, and we'll use that a lot the rest of the chapter. See you soon. Hey, but before we go, let's take a look at our homework. There it is, folks. See you in class.